Yo, what is up everybody? It's VueX and we are back with another video. Buckle up, cause we're about to drop the ultimate Southern Europe travel guide, VueX style. I've always been obsessed with Europe. The history, the culture, the food. It's just different, you know? And this trip was about more than just checking boxes. It was about soaking it all in. We're talking about living and breathing Europe, from the bustling markets to the peaceful piazzas. So if you're ready to ditch the tourist traps and experience the real deal, you came to the right place. Let's do this. First stop, Barcelona. This city is like a dream. The energy is electric, the architecture is mind-blowing, and the food, man, the food is unreal. We touched down, grabbed our bags, and went straight to the hotel to drop them off. Ain't no time to waste, gotta hit the ground running when you're on a VueX adventure. First things first, we had to check out the Sagrada Familia. I'm talking about that crazy cathedral designed by Antoni Gaudi. It's been under construction for like over a century, and it's still not finished. But even unfinished, it's the most awe-inspiring building I've ever seen. It's like something out of a movie. Alright, day 2 in Barcelona, and we're diving deeper into the city's artistic side. First up, Park Güell, another Gaudi masterpiece. It's like walking into a whimsical dreamland. Think colorful mosaics, quirky buildings, and stunning views of the city. This place is like Instagram gold. Every corner you turn, there's another epic shot. Next up, we wandered through the Gothic Quarter, which is like stepping back in time. Narrow streets, hidden courtyards, and buildings that have been standing for centuries. You can feel the history in the air, you know what I'm saying? And to top off the day, we caught a fiery flamenco show. The passion, the rhythm, the energy. It was insane. Day 3. We're leaving Barcelona and taking a high-speed train to Valencia. Packing up is always bittersweet, but the next adventure awaits. These Spanish trains are crazy fast and smooth, gliding through the countryside. Picturesque views of mountains, vineyards, the works. First things first in Valencia, checking into our hotel. Valencia does not disappoint. Our main mission, the city of arts and sciences, futuristic architecture, an opera house like a spaceship, an IMAX theater shaped like an eye. Day 4 in Spain, and we're waking up in Valencia. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and the smell of fresh bread is in the air. Does it get any better than this? We're starting the day off right with a strong cup of coffee and some churros. Gotta fuel up for a day of exploring. Today is all about soaking up the local culture. We're diving headfirst into Valencia's Old Town, which is a maze of narrow streets, colorful buildings, and hidden courtyards. It's like stepping back in time, and you can feel the history all around you. Next up, we're hitting the Central Market, which is a feast for the senses. Think mountains of fresh produce, rows of hanging cured meats, and the aroma of spices filling the air. We're talking authentic Spanish flavors, and we're here for it. After all that walking, we're ending the day with some much-needed relaxation at Malvarosa Beach. The Mediterranean Sea is calling our names, and we're not going to keep it waiting. Time to soak up some rays, take a dip in the water, and just enjoy the moment. And just like that, it's time to say hasta luego to Valencia. This trip is flying by, but we're squeezing every last drop of adventure out of it. Next stop, Madrid. The Spanish capital is calling, and we're ready for some big city energy. The train ride gives us a chance to catch our breath, answer some comments. You guys are the best, by the way. And just take it all in. Looking back, Valencia was amazing. The perfect blend of modern and historic, with a relaxed vibe that's hard to beat. But Madrid, we're ready for you. First up, we're checking into our hotel, which is right in the heart of the action. Location is key, people, and this puts us within walking distance of everything we want to see. And speaking of seeing, we're kicking things off with a visit to the Royal Palace. This place is grand, opulent, and everything you'd expect from a royal residence. We're talking gold trim, sprawling gardens, and enough history to fill a textbook. Get ready to be wowed. Day 6 in Madrid, a city buzzing with energy. You can feel it everywhere, even in the churros. Fueled by breakfast at Chocolateria San Ginés, we hit the Prado Museum. Masterpieces by Goya, Velázquez, El Greco. Art that stops you in your tracks. Then, Retiro Park, Madrid's green oasis. Rowboats, street performers, crystal palaces. The day ends in La Latina, Tapas Heaven. Patatas Bravas, Gambas al Ajillo, Pulpo a la Galega. Madrid after dark is legendary. Alright amigos, pack your bags. We're Seville-bound. Madrid was off the charts, but you know me, gotta keep it moving. Next stop, Andalusia, the heart of it all. We're hopping on the AVE, the Spanish bullet train. These things are insane, sleek, modern, fast. We're talking 300 kilometers per hour, people. The scenery flying by? Don't even get me started. Rolling hills, olive groves, villages that look like they haven't changed in centuries. It's like traveling back in time, but with Wi-Fi. And speaking of time, this train ride is so smooth, you'll barely notice the hours melting away. We pull into Seville and boom, the energy shifts. This city's got a different vibe, more laid back, traditional, with a Moorish influence you can feel in the architecture, the food, the air itself. First up, the Seville Cathedral. This place is a masterpiece, a giant Gothic cathedral built on the site of a mosque. Talk about history colliding. It's got this iconic bell tower, La Giralda, that you can climb for insane views of the city. But the real showstopper? Christopher Columbus's tomb. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about legends, people, legends. Good morning, Seville. This city woke me up with the sun. The air is warm, the sky is blue. First up, the Alcazar of Seville. A stunning mix of Moorish and Christian architecture, with lush, intricate gardens, fountains, courtyards, hidden grottos, and peacocks strutting around. This is Game of Thrones level stuff, but Seville isn't just about palaces. The Plaza de España captures the vibe, a massive semicircular plaza with a canal running through it. Rent a rowboat, people watch, or just soak it all in. And you know what pairs perfectly with soaking it all in? Tapas, small plates, big flavors, an atmosphere that's electric. From patatas bravas to crispy calamari, every bite is a flavor explosion. This is what it's all about, experiencing a new place through its food, its culture, its people. Alright guys, we're switching gears, trading the Spanish sun for some Portuguese vibes. I'm talking about Lisbon, baby. After saying hasta luego to Seville, it was a quick flight, and boom, we landed in this charming city ready to explore. First things first, we dropped our bags at the hotel. No time wasted though, gotta keep moving. First stop, Belém Tower. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is like stepping back in time. And what's a visit to Lisbon without trying their legendary pastéis de nata? These little custard tarts are like sunshine in pastry form. Seriously, they're ridiculously good. So, first impressions of Lisbon? Absolutely loving it. Day 2 in Lisbon, diving into Alfama, the oldest district. It's a maze of cobblestone streets and colorful buildings. Every corner reveals something new. Hidden courtyards, tiny cafes, street art. Fado music drifts from bars, hitting you right in the feels. Don't miss São Jorge Castle for panoramic views of Lisbon. Lisbon is exceeding all expectations with its raw, authentic charm. Stay tuned, we're just getting started. We're leaving Lisbon and heading to Porto, Portugal's second largest city. First stop, Livraria Lello, a bookstore that looks straight out of a Harry Potter movie. Towering bookshelves, a grand staircase, and stained glass ceilings. Even non-bookworms will be captivated. Pair it with a glass of port wine. Sipping port by the Douro River is a must. Stay tuned, Porto has more in store. Alright guys, we're in Porto. This city is like stepping into a postcard. It's got this old world charm that just sucks you in. Narrow cobblestone streets, colorful buildings, and the smell of salt in the air. You can feel the history here. First up, we're hitting the Ribeira district. This place is like the heart of Porto, right on the Douro River. We're talking centuries-old buildings, tiny cafes tucked into alleyways, and street art that'll blow your mind. It's a photographer's dream, and trust me, I'll be snapping away. Next, we're climbing the Claragos Tower. This iconic tower is like Porto's Eiffel Tower. You can see it from pretty much anywhere in the city. 225 steps to the top, but the view? Worth every bead of sweat. And to top it all off, we're taking a boat tour on the Douro River. This is the best way to see Porto, in my opinion. You get a whole new perspective of the city, with its bridges, the Ribeira district, and those iconic port wine cellars perched on the hills. Don't forget your camera gear, people. Guys, it's hard saying goodbye to Porto, but Rome is calling. Another day, another flight, another adventure. It's a whirlwind, but hey, that's how we roll, right? We land in Rome, and the energy here is just different. It's electric, buzzing, a little chaotic, and I'm already feeling that Roman holiday vibe. First things first, checking into our hotel, dropping off our bags, and then we're straight out the door. No time to waste. First stop, the Colosseum. This place is legendary. I mean, gladiators, emperors, the roar of the crowd. It's insane to think about the history that went down here. We're going to soak it all in, maybe try to channel our inner gladiator. And of course, no trip to Rome is complete without gelato. We're talking about the real deal here, people. Creamy, delicious, and the perfect way to end our first day in the Eternal City. Alright, today's a big one. We're talking about Vatican City, the smallest country in the world and the center of the Catholic Church. Talk about a culture shock. We're talking St. Peter's Basilica, one of the most iconic churches on the planet. The scale of this place is mind-blowing, the architecture is unbelievable. I'm not even religious, but you can't help but feel a sense of awe standing here. And then there's the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo's masterpiece. I mean, come on, this is like art history 101, and seeing it in person is just different. The detail, the colors, the sheer scale of it, it's truly breathtaking. We're going to spend the day exploring the Vatican museums, soaking in the art, the history, the culture. This is one of those places that everyone should experience at least once in their life. Alright guys, day 3 in Rome. Can you believe it? Feels like just yesterday we were getting off that train, totally overwhelmed by the Colosseum, which, by the way, if you haven't been, it's even more impressive in person. Like, pictures don't do it justice. You gotta feel that energy, you know? But today, we're diving into the heart of ancient Rome. We're talking about the Roman Forum, the Pantheon, places where emperors walked, gladiators fought, history was made. And let me tell you, the energy here is different. It's almost like you can feel the weight of the past all around you, you know? Walking through these ruins, you can't help but think about all the people who walked these same paths centuries ago. The senators, the soldiers, the everyday Romans, just living their lives. It's humbling, man. It makes you realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things. And after a long day of soaking up the ancient vibes, we're going to treat ourselves to some classic Roman pasta in the Trastevere neighborhood. This place is known for its authentic food and lively atmosphere, so stick around, it's going to be epic. Ciao from Florence. That's right, we hopped on a high-speed train this morning and said Arrivederci to Rome. The train ride was smooth, efficient, and scenic. You know I love a good train ride. Gives you time to edit, catch up on messages, and just soak in the scenery flying by. First up on the agenda, the Uffizi Gallery. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, an art museum? Really? But trust me on this one, this place is special. We're talking Botticelli, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, the heavy hitters. And seeing their masterpieces up close and personal, it's a whole other level of appreciation. You know, you see these paintings in textbooks, on posters, but nothing compares to the real deal. The detail, the colors, the emotions they evoke, it's just mind-blowing. Plus, the Uffizi itself is a work of art. The building, the architecture, it all adds to the experience. And to top it all off, we're ending the day with a massive Florentine steak. We're talking about a thick, juicy cut of meat, seasoned to perfection. It's the kind of meal that makes you want to slap the table and say, "Mamma mia, stay tuned, guys, this is gonna be good." Buongiorno from Florence. Day 2 in this beautiful city and we're hitting the ground running. First up, the Duomo. This massive cathedral dominates the Florence skyline. The dome itself is an architectural marvel, and the view from the top, let's just say it's worth the climb. Then we're strolling across the Ponte Vecchio, the only bridge in Florence spared from destruction during World War II. It's lined with shops, which is pretty cool, and the whole vibe is just so charming. You can't help but feel like you've stepped back in time. But you know me, I can't resist a good day trip. So we hopped on a train and zipped over to Pisa. And yeah, we had to see the Leaning Tower. I know it's touristy, but come on, it's iconic. And let me tell you, it really does lean. It's kind of freaky to see in person, like, how is it even standing? We're heading back to Florence to soak up some more of that Italian charm. This city has been amazing, and we're making the most of every minute. Stay tuned for more adventures, guys. Alright guys, we're saying ciao to Florence today, but trust me, we're not sad to be heading to Venice. We're talking canals, gondolas, that whole romantic vibe. So, we're hopping on a high-speed train, zooming through the Italian countryside. We pull into Venice Santa Lucia station, and it's like stepping into another world. No cars, just canals and boats. We hop in a water taxi, our bags piled high, and we're off to our hotel. Stay tuned! Yo, Venice is something else, man. It's like this crazy maze of canals and bridges, and I swear I get lost every 5 minutes. But that's part of the charm, right? You just gotta embrace the chaos and wander. Yesterday we hit up St. Mark's Square, which was absolutely insane. Pigeons everywhere, tourists galore, but also this incredible energy. The architecture is mind-blowing, like something out of a history book. We even braved the crowds to go inside St. Mark's Basilica. And let me tell you, the mosaics are next level. Today we're diving deeper into Venice, checking out Doge's palace, which is this massive palace that used to be the seat of Venetian power. We're talking secret passageways, ornate rooms, and a pretty epic view from the top. After that, we're gonna wander some more, maybe do a little shopping. Definitely gonna eat some more cicchetti, which are like these little Venetian tapas. And of course, no trip to Venice is complete without a gondola ride, so we'll be sure to squeeze that in too. Stay tuned for more Venice adventures. Alright guys, we're saying ciao to the magical canals of Venice and hopping on a high-speed train to Milan, the fashion capital of the world. I'm not gonna lie, a little part of me wants to stay in Venice forever, floating around in a gondola, eating gelato, but there's a whole other side of Italy waiting for us. The train ride itself is an experience. Picture this. You're cruising through the Italian countryside, vineyards whizzing by, rolling hills in the distance, and the occasional charming village. It's like traveling through a painting, and it gives you a chance to process all the amazing things you just saw in Venice. Trust me, you're gonna need a minute. Speaking of amazing, Milan is a whole different beast. We're talking high fashion, sleek architecture, and an energy that's a little more fast-paced than what we've experienced so far. But hey, that's the beauty of this trip, right? Every city has its own vibe, its own story to tell. And Milan's story is one of style, art, and maybe a little bit of shopping, I'm just saying. First stop, the Duomo di Milano. This cathedral is iconic. We're talking about a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, hundreds of years in the making. The detail, the scale, it's mind-blowing. Plus, you can actually go up to the roof and get a panoramic view of the entire city. Yeah, it's gonna be epic. So buckle up, guys, because Milan is ready for us. Alright guys, let's talk about the Duomo for a second. This thing is massive, like seriously huge. It took over 6 centuries to build. Intricate carvings, towering spires, and a sense of grandeur. You can climb all the way to the top. The view from up there is insane. Red rooftops, the Italian Alps, and a feeling of being on top of the world. It's the perfect way to get your bearings in Milan. Milan's not just about old world charm, it's also a hub of fashion and design. A trip to the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II is a must. This place is a shopper's paradise. High-end boutiques, designer labels, and impressive architecture. No trip to Milan is complete without seeing Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. This iconic painting is housed in the Santa Maria del Grazie. The detail, the emotion, it's like staring straight into history. Milan blends the past and the present, and it's been one heck of a ride. And that, my friends, is a wrap on our epic 3-week adventure through southern Europe. We started in Barcelona, got lost in Valencia, felt the royal vibes in Madrid, and soaked in Seville. Then we hopped to Portugal, devoured pastel de nata in Lisbon, and sipped port wine in Porto. Italy, you are something else. From Rome to Venice, Florence, and Milan, this country has stolen my heart. This trip was about more than destinations. It was about experiencing cultures, trying new foods, and creating memories. Now let's talk logistics. For 2 people traveling for 3 weeks, you're looking at an average cost of around $7,000 to $10,000. This includes everything from flights and accommodation to food, activities, and even some souvenirs. Pack light, but smart. Layers are key, and comfortable shoes are a must. The best time to visit Southern Europe is in the shoulder seasons, spring or fall, for pleasant weather and fewer crowds. If you're looking for a sign to book that trip, this is it. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this adventure, share it with your travel buddies, and subscribe for more travel vlogs coming soon. Let me know in the comments where you want to see me explore next. Until then, safe travels from your travel buddy, VueX.